Hey, how you doing? So I've been helping these lucky people who have helped pass some exams, and they want to become contractors. And one of the questions they keep asking me is that, you know, Jude, how to become a contractor and how to avoid ir35. And I go, becoming a contractor is just a decision. You decide when you want to be a contractor, right? And you make the decision, but understanding the whole point of being a contractor. A contractor, you know, is not this person that basically goes into a role, stays there for 2 years, getting paid £500 to £700 a day. That's not what it is. You're supposed to accept risk. You're supposed to be using your skill set to help a customer with a definitive list of problems get from one section to the other section, right? Because let's face it, that's why you want to be a contractor. You want to be used and challenged for your skills. So here, I've got a list of things here from that I've been sent from HMRC. And basically what it is that there's these three things that basically define you today in 2020. Okay, this can change in 2021, but these are the three things to look for, right? Mutually of obligation, MOO or MOO, and basically mutual obligation based. What that means is your client hires you for a particular role, for a particular skill set that you have, and they want you to be there to deploy, let's say, 3 virtual machines. But while you're there, the customer says, well, while you're deploying the virtual machines, can you deploy me in Cosmo DB? You don't have to, right? You could just basically say, I'm sorry, but that's not what we are here for. We are here for 3 virtual machines, and that's it. Okay. Now, I know what you're going to say. Well, surely if the customer asks you to do more work, you're going to take on more work. Of course you are, but you're not obliged to. You don't have to. The other one is substitution. Can you substitute your work with another colleague? Well, I can't. I've built my network high enough where I can actually have people that I trust who will come in and do who have better skill set or the same skill set as me. But if I'm not well, or I need to go to emergency, go back home to visit my father, for example, who's had surgery lately, I can substitute someone to fill in for me, right? If you can't actually show that, then you need to be able to specify why. Now, I can't substitute all the time, but I do have the ability that I can. That's all HMRC is looking for. And control, Control is, does the customer have control over you? Does the customer tell you what time that you should start? What time you should finish? What device you should be able to do your work in? Does that customer have control? If the answer is yes, they've got control, then you fall in ir35, right? And you got to be very, very careful, because basically, if you work for someone for 2 years at £500 to £700 a day, that's a lot of tax for you to just all of a sudden try and find. It's not going to be it's not a nice journey at all. So the point I'm trying to say is that, look, to avoid ir35, and I'm telling these people I'm mentoring, don't look to avoid ir35. Have the mindset of working in as a true contractor. Now, what is a true contractor? Or a true consultant? A true consultant is who is coming in or being hired to solve a particular issue for you. And in doing so, they apply their skill set, our skill set, to help resolve issues, right? Now, this is a way for you to work as a true consultancy, and you avoid the dilemma of falling ir35, or being investigated by HMRC, or any of these things. And why should you want to give up working under a limited company? I mean, say Jesus, you've got so much benefits under a limited company. To just want to hand that over is definitely a big fat no for me. I'm not. there's so many benefits of having a limited company, and I want to just keep that. So I found a way. So I've gone on a digital marketing, we call it course. I've learned how to basically market myself online, and I've learned how to actually, direct my message in front of the audience of people that I want. Those audience of people are being, the directors of a business, other consultants, architects, who then therefore need my skill set so that they can actually move their project along as swiftly as possible. Also, this is the right time to do it. I tell you why. Because a lot of people are going, well, do we hire a contractor or do we hire a permanent person? And the businesses out there don't want to do both. One is that they don't want to be liable for being inside ir35 and having to pay a hefty bill to HMRC. And then the other side is that they don't want to hire a permanent person either, because then you've got a person who's coming on board to do a particular piece of work, but then you're not going to keep them on board. So then you're going to end up paying someone £100,000 to £200,000 doing some work that doesn't exist anymore. So why do it, right? So anyway, what I would suggest is that works for me, that I see working for a lot of other types of contractors, consultants outside of being IT. You're talking about speech specialists, communication specialists, digital marketing, who are just getting all their clients through YouTube ads, Facebook ads, LinkedIn ads. Now, I know what you're going to say. Okay, cool. I could Google how to do these types of commercials or these types of ads. But what you probably do find, which I've tried Googling and doing it solo, you make a whole mess of it. Because your mindset needs to be prepared in how to direct your message and come across more professionally. And also you need to know how to do your click funnels or your funnels, or sales funnels, whatever you want to friggin' call them. And you need to be able to do particular things in your website so that you can actually track which customers come from what ad. And then you need to automate the responses. Now I know, and you also need a website. Appreciate that all these things may sound a little bit like burdensome, like, oh my god, I have to now relearn or retrain onto a different skill set that I don't want to do. It's not that hard. It's not that hard when you have a really good course provider who's going to give you a step-by-step process of how to do that, how to achieve these things, and then be able to deliver that solution so that you could have that continuum of cash flow. So the major thing really of wanting to digitize your business is so that you don't have to hire a sales rep who you have to pay really to be able to bring in those potential clients, and you have to qualify, and you have to sit in a pre-sales meeting, or you try to do it yourself. So traditionally, the way I started was that I would go and do presentations. I will go to like IP Expo. Well, you can't do that now because of the COVID virus. And you'll go and socialize and network, and you tell people about your services and what you can and can't do. Or mainly can do, really. You never say can't. And you go about trying to win the hearts and minds of these people in a one-to-one relationship or one-to-one transition. And that takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time and effort. What you can do with the way how it is digitized these days and automated is by simply having a funnel do all the work for you, and your clients are qualified by seeing your ad already. So what I mean by qualifying was, you probably know this already if you're in pre-sales. Qualifying basically means is that you need to be able to tell the customer The customer has an interpretation of your business. You have an interpretation of their needs. And you probably find that after doing a meeting, the customer's interpretation was wrong about what type of services you have, and your interpretation of what they needed was wrong. And that's what you call disqualifying lead. Qualifying is the opposite to that. And that's what your ad will do. Your ad basically tells the customer what you can achieve for them. Your customer who's interested will then go click and say, yes, I'm interested. I will sign up. I'll give you my name, my email address, and my telephone number. And here's the time that I'm ready. So you have this pop-up, and that pop-up will show you the date and time of when they're ready to receive your phone call. You just call them and it's enter into your diary with all their details that they have. And the reason why they're qualified is that in your ad you've given them a distinguished list of things that you could resolve. So are you interested in Azure, having a specialist come in to validate your infrastructure and how these things will run for you? And that's what I mean about digitize. So your ad is seen to people, they qualified it, they click yes, in they go. If that sounds interesting to you, I'm willing to help. So I'm not here to sell you anything, I'm just looking to add value. So hopefully I've helped you achieve 3 things in understanding. No, you can't avoid IR35. 2, there's a different way of actually working, which is a direct communication with your client, having statement of works, and that I've done this, I've also mentioned this in a previous video. And thirdly is, just advertise your skills online. You can do so organically, like through YouTube and through Instagram and stuff, but that would take a lot longer. What you want to do is to just pay for advertisement, and anyone can do it. You probably see it all the time. Anyway, my name is Jude. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you want more content, write something down below, and hopefully I can help you along the way in the journey. See you soon.